I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
I loved how they did this with the voice.
It's so great.
Yeah.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, good. Specific words they gave to Hayden. Other words they gave the re-speecher.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so... Like, it's heartbreaking, but, like, you can feel Obi-Wan healing right now.
Same way, I will destroy you. And my friend is truly dead.
Oh, wow. This is just brutal.
Darth.
Oh.
Oh, yep. You called him Darth.
Just left him with Darth.
What an insult. I'm going to do that to my brother when I see him this weekend.
Nice!
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I love the voice effect there was top notch.
Oh,
that was
wow.
Oh man, that delivered to me on a level that
like so many things this episode.
Yes. So handsome.
You want to meet him?
Oh.
Oh, hello and
Oh, are we gonna get another crying session here?
yeah. Give him his toy.
Oh,
Yes.
give him the toy.
Luke's just like, I don't want this.
Nothing breaks it in front of him.
Hello there.
He said the thing. He did it. Yes.
Did you see the thing they said about Ewan McGregor having so much fun riding a camel he tried to buy one?
What an idiot. What are you going to do with that camel? You're not gonna...
Rich people, man.
Master Qui-gon.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, he had to show up, right? I would have been
Yeah.
disappointed if we didn't see or
absolutely.
hear
I
him.
think you'd never come.
Ah, yes.
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 you just were not ready to see. Come on, you've got a ways to go.
Always there? Like
Yeah.
how much did you see?
Yeah, wait a second. Did you watch me? Never
I
mind.
mean, me and Tika the Jawa got into
Yeah.
some nasty shit. Were you?
Let's not overthink this.
That's all I could think about.
Yes. All right.
All
Well done.
right. Well done. Well done, Deborah Chow. You
Yeah.
did it. You
Way
stuck
to
the
stick the
landing.
landing. Yes,
Way to
exactly.
stick the landing. Oh my God. So much happened this episode. We have to talk about it. Welcome back to New Rockstars. Obi-Wan Kenobi's finale pulled out all the stops with cameos from Qui-Gon Jinn. Somehow Palpatine returned. Kenobi getting his own Ahsoka-style peek through the Vader mask. And hot damn a hello there. And I think we
Yes.
owe it to Darth Vader to change up our weekly Darth Maul Kenobi scream to the version that Vader gave us this episode. That was good. I felt like I was on the set. I felt like I was on the LED volume with you there,
Yeah.
Tommy. You transported me. This is
Thank you.
Wookieeleaks, New Rockstars official after show for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm Erik Voss. My Easter egg breakdown is going to come out tomorrow. It's a busy day ahead of us. But right now, I'm reacting to this episode with Tommy Bechtold. Tommy.
Woo-wee. Wow, what? I mean, just so much to talk about. I don't even want to waste too much time saying hello, but I will. I just had such a great time with this episode. A lot of my personal theories coming to fruition. A lot, I mean, including very specifically on the break room yesterday, my prediction that Aunt Beru was a secret badass. I think that pretty much came. That was definitely one that I will be rubbing in everyone's faces tonight, this afternoon. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, that Aunt Beru moment, biggest surprise for me. Absolutely. I loved Aunt Beru this episode.
Me too.
You know what? It honestly felt like this whole series from the pitch was all just leading up to this moment. And then everything else was just kind of like tracing our steps up to it. In fact, I mean, just imagine a scenario where this could have been all we got for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Imagine a story just like a one-off Christmas special that opened with Obi-Wan on the run with young Leia on some freighter. Right. We don't know what they're doing, how they got there, but there are other Jedi there. There are other people who think that they're Jedi who are just helping Jedi get away. But as they're being chased by the Devastator, like that honestly feels like we're jumping right into the deep end in A New Hope with the Tantive 4 chase from the Star Destroyer. So it honestly just feels like, oh yeah, this is everything we needed, and I'm glad we got here. I'm so glad we got here.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, so this episode, Vader's Star Destroyer, the Devastator pursues Roken's freighter. Obi-Wan says goodbye to Roken and Haja, tells them to get Leia home. Leia doesn't want him to leave, does that little trick of leaving Daddy a toy in a suitcase, so he has to come back home early from the business trip. Gives him Lola. Man, that tracker, she learned a tip from Reva there, right? You know, that droid, it's a great tracker. It's good for a lot of stuff. Well, Obi-Wan takes a dropship to this nearby unnamed moon. I looked for the name of the moon. We didn't get it. I believe the audio description calls it a desolate moon, but we don't get a... Yeah, I mean, it looks like
Desolation.
Just name it after yourself, Tommy. I think you've heard it.
I believe they landed on Bechtold 4.
I like how whenever they're fleeing the Star Destroyer, they're literally doing the zigzag maneuver. They're like, it's harder to shoot as if we're
That's
zigzagging.
how you run away from a gator, right, Eric? I need to know. I'm going to Florida in 3 days.
That's right. Yeah, you have to zigzag. They are fast, Tommy. Don't underestimate a gator. That's what they're counting on.
You know, they say that about me, Eric. You know, I may look heavy, but I can run. I got fleet feet.
Also, you're cold-blooded. And you like just laying in the sun.
I eat my own eggs that I produce.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, your eggs are delicious. Your Cadbury cream, right?
That's right. Yes, they're all Cadbury cream. Some are Cadbury minis, but
you're lucky if you get a Cadbury mini inside of a bigger Cadbury egg.
Oh my God, what an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, that's what we call a Cadbury double. A tur Cadbury is when it's 3. Yeah.
Wait, put a pin in that. We're doing that next Easter for a viral video. We're putting all the Cadbury eggs inside of each other, roasting it at 350 for 10 hours. All right, back to the show.
Back to the show. So a wounded, rough-looking Reva arrives at Tatooine, seeking out Owen, getting in fights with water vendors. Owen gets tipped off. I love the code of honor between the water trade of Tatooine. His water vendor's like, I have to warn you, Owen.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get in trouble. You're like the only moisture farmer who will sell me at, under 20 credits per cup of it. And I can't afford to go to Stephen F. Root on the other side of the planet. That guy's going to jack up the prices. So
he's unethical.
Just going to warn you here. But Owen gets tipped off. He warns Beru. Our Lady Beru pulling a Regina King and Watchmen, pulling random rifles out of everywhere, saying, let's go. She was waiting for this moment. She was bored for this moment. There was many a day leading up to this. Droids were just giving her some side eye like, that woman has gone crazy, hiding rifles behind the flower bed. What is she planning on? I love this woman this episode. She is she's my new hero of Star Wars. And she's just like, she's a bit excited. And she's like, oh, someone's coming. Yes, finally. I get to do this.
The plan. all of my hidden weapons will come in handy now.
Yeah, she just like pops open some blue bantha milk, and inside that carton is just like another little gun. And she's like, let's do it.
There's just guns everywhere. There's guns inside of the guns.
There's a droid with just a blaster for a head. Like, why did I exist? Now I know.
Kill me. You don't anymore.
So Obi-Wan and Vader share a duel for the ages this episode. It's incredible. Obi-Wan has regained his strength and his confidence, yet Vader says, but your weakness remains. And Vader overwhelms him, tries to bury him alive. Vicious fatality here, but it's not so. Obi-Wan is clinging to it seems like his hatred for Anakin at first, but really he leaves those thoughts behind and instead focuses on his love for Leia and for Luke, and he frees himself, giving Vader the business at that point, slashing his chest controls, slicing open his helmet, just like Ahsoka did to Vader in Rebels when they reunited, giving us a nice parallel moment here. It's beautiful. Vader tells him that Obi-Wan didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, he did. And Obi-Wan tells him that his friend is truly dead. and leaves his former Padawan wheezing in pain, screaming, Obi-Wan! It's
Obi-Wan!
incredible. Just an incredible exchange here.
Yes.
I loved
Oh my
it.
God, yes. I did too. Amazing.
Meanwhile, Reva sneaks into the Lars homestead and ended up in one hell of a shootout. And it looks like a flower pot fight with Owen and Beru. They're just throwing anything they can at her.
Yes.
She chases Luke across the desert into a canyon, knocking him off a ledge, unconscious. And I'm thinking at this point, why is she just really wants to kill him out of revenge? I'm not really sure what she wants to do with Luke at this. I thought she just was going to use him as a hostage to get Obi-Wan back in the picture and then get Vader back in the picture. But no, she just she knows this boy is important to somebody and then just wants to kill him. So I'm just glad ultimately that obviously she didn't kill him. We knew she wasn't, but I'm glad that she's able to like come to this on her own. It's you know, for a second it seems like counterintuitive storytelling to like deprive Obi-Wan of being the hero in this moment and rescuing Luke. It's just a change that she encounters on her own. And they brought back young Reva, the actress, to just sit there on the sand, you know, so that like she can have that parallel moment. Pretty incredible moment. And then you know, she returns Luke back to Beru and Owen and Obi-Wan, and Beru's like, can I just use 4 more of my guns? I mean, I have them hidden everywhere.
Beru kind of gives the like, I forgive, but I never forget. If I see you in these streets again, I will blast 3 holes inside of you.
Yeah, she just like opens up her robes. And they're like, whoa, that's lots of guns.
She's completely naked. No,
and tatted up
There's
with
no
like
need for this.
Crazy tattoos.
They're like
Unspeakably offensive
on
tattoos.
having Beru be tattooed from ankle to neck.
Okay. So Obi-Wan tells Reva that she has honored her fallen Jedi friends and that she is free now. And then on Mustafar, Palpatine's hologram checks in with Vader. It's like, you've been too focused on Obi-Wan, son. And Vader's like, okay, I'm moving on, Papa. I love you,
Yeah,
Papa.
don't worry. You're my only master. You're the only one I call Daddy. And then the Emperor's like, good, that's what Daddy likes to hear.
Good. Hit Daddy again. Hit Daddy. Or no, why am I doing Palpatine's voice as Vader? Hey, it's been a long night. Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of sleep here, so. No. So we revisit Alderaan. Obi-Wan returns Lola to Leia, breaks our hearts, complimenting both her mother and her father's John Williams Leia theme and Force theme play underneath. I mean, that's the quickest shortcut to Waterworks for me. Just play John Williams Leia theme, and I'm a wreck.
Absolutely.
I'm a puddle. I'm Alex Mack.
The only way I would have cried, I would have been more moved by that scene is if Shadow from Homeward Bound had run home to that music. Right then, like, oh, Peter, I missed you every day. I was so worried, Peter.
Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter.
Then Bail Organa's like, when did we get a dog?
What is
blast? Just shoots him with a blast. He's like, what is that? Bam!
What is it?
They don't have golden retrievers on this planet.
Ugh, gross. Obi-Wan makes one final visit to Owen, who lets Obi-Wan meet Luke. Obi-Wan gives Luke the T-16 Skyhopper toy, and we get a hello there. They know us. They know what we wanted. Right? And then finally, Qui-Gon rides up on his Eopie to the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, who tells him he was always with them and that they still have quite a ways to go. So how influential was Qui-Gon's ghost actually throughout this series? Was he there the whole time? What things that we saw on the show were actually the doing of Qui-Gon? And did Qui-Gon really see, everything? Like everything that Obi-Wan did alone in that cave? I mean, a man has needs. And did Qui-Gon watch? Did he watch? Oh, Peter.
What did you see? Oh, Obi-Wan. Oh, Obi-Wan.
I keep hearing the old man just kind of breathing heavily in this cave.
Poor Don Amici just trying to have his bones rest in his grave, and we're roasting his horny voice at the end of Homeward Bound.
All right. An announcement that we have to give you here. If you're enjoying this goofy banter, or even if you're not, we still want to drag you through this. New Rockstars is going to be live in Austin, Texas on July 4th through July 3rd for RTX. That's Rooster Teeth's Podcast Festival. It's going to be Tommy and me, plus Jessica Clements, plus Philip Molina. We're doing a live show Saturday, July 2nd. As part of this festival, it's going to be so fun. So click the link in the description. Use the promo code New Rockstars, all one word, for a discounted ticket price. We hope to see you there. If you're in Austin, come hang out with us. We want to see you. It's going to be a blast.
Don't forget, after the show, you can hunt me down before the cops do in downtown Austin. So it's going to be a race in time to find me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Texas law. I think that's just legal in Texas. If you see Tommy, you're allowed to hunt him. But there is a time. There's a time limit. You know, there's a season.
A time and place.
There's a season. There's a Tommy season. Can't just do it year round. There's tagging rules. There's bagging rules. And I'll give you the rules when we get there. So this is also your last chance to get our limited edition latest Obsession Kenobi inspired Empire's Most Wanted shirt, available at newrockstarsmerch.com. It's the best way to support us here at New Rockstars. And when you get one of these, you'll unlock the added option to write and cuss a shout out that will appear at the bottom of these after shows. For example, we got John who says, Vader, I am what you made me. Obi-Wan, I could have sworn I made you shorter. That's
savage.
Charles says, design something, shouting out young Leia. She's nailing it. And Kenobi's baby Yoda, or she is Kenobi's baby Yoda. It's brilliant. I agree, Charles. I think this Leia actress, especially by the end, Vivian Lyra Blair, she crushed it in this final episode. She's great. Oh, absolutely great. And then Dean says, I want to see Disney release an Inquisitor lightsaber that spins so I can fly to the front of the lines. At Disney,
that, Dean.
I think Dean, you got some good ideas.
Dean.
Bob Chapek, I assume you're watching this, so get Dean on the Imagineering team. I think.
Bob actually watches live as we record, so he can see the unedited version in case we say something negative about Disney. He shocks us.
Yeah, he calls it the Chapek channel on all of his screens in his home. He can just bring it up and watch any of us wherever we are. There's floating invisible drones that just kind of follow us. So
that's right. We got little Lolas that come by and electrocute us.
Yeah, and just give us little bites, just like little nibbles, like the way mosquitoes, just like little nibbles. And you call that a Chapek kiss. You know, that's how you know he's watching.
Chapek.
He was there the whole time, Tommy. We were just not ready to see.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Tommy, what's the question we're dealing with this episode of this finale?
I'm gonna go back to an old version, an old way of asking these questions. How the fat much was Qui-Gon's ghost helping Obi-Wan during this series?
I had forgotten how I missed how the Fett. Well, this episode ends by proving that we can never trust actors when they say they will not be in things. Both Liam Neeson and Ian McDiarmid denied being in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Liam Neeson even had that silly excuse about not wanting to be in anything beneath the Star Wars film. We knew that wasn't true. These cameos even went a step further than what I thought we would get, Tommy. I thought we were just going to get vocal cameos, but we actually got semi-translucent forms of them. The actors had to suit up in hair and makeup and costume. I mean, I guess they could have made like a stand-in version of Palpatine. He's pretty unrecognizable under that and just use his voice, but no, it looks like him.
Yeah, I think that was really him.
I think it was him.
They punched in on his face in that one point.
Yeah.
When he was really questioning Darth's intentions, they kind of moved in close to the hologram's face. So
he had a bit of an apprehensive look on his face, like, did I make a mistake?
Have I made the wrong choice? I should have tried to turn Mace Windu.
I believe Maul is still alive. I can find Maul.
Where's that little spider-legged boy?
Spider? Here's Spider.
Come here, my spider.
So Obi-Wan has been calling out to Qui-Gon throughout the series, always met with silence, including this episode. It opens with a kind of prayer, really. He's like, I have to face the master, whether he dies or I do. This ends today. Well, neither of you died, but the conflict, the hatchet in a way was buried. This episode ends, of course, with Obi-Wan seeing Qui-Gon in the wavy heat, almost as if Qui-Gon is just a mirage, and almost as if Old Man Ben is losing his mind. It actually reminds us of the way Rey saw Luke and Leia's Force Ghost at the end of Rise of Skywalker, almost a mirage in the sand there. I kind of wish that whole movie was a mirage, but that's, that's the truth of that moment. When Qui-Gon says to him, well, it took you long enough. And Obi-Wan responds, I was beginning to think you would never come, which reminded us of the, reading between Obi-Wan and Anakin in the flashback last episode. And then Qui-Gon says, I was always here, Obi-Wan. You were just not ready to see. Come on, you got a ways to go. Now, what does this mean? The implication is that Obi-Wan needed to reconnect with the Force in the series. And to fully accept that Anakin, the Anakin that he knew, Anakin as he knew him, is dead, is gone. And most importantly, we learned this episode that death was not solely Obi-Wan's fault. It was really the dark side, the Sith plot, manifested in Lord Vader that vanquished what was left of Anakin's goodness. Obi-Wan needed to forgive himself on the show and realize that Anakin made his own choices to embrace the dark side. Obi-Wan's shame, in a way, is a manifestation of the evil that Palpatine plagued on all the surviving Jedi. He divided these heroes by guilting them into thinking that they failed each other, which may be true in a way, but any empathetic person, anybody with a soul, would rightly kick themselves over their mistakes. That's just something that we do. But part of self-forgiveness is also recognizing that the way we each fail ourselves and are in control of our own choices. And Vader's line about Vader being the one to kill Anakin was exactly what Obi-Wan needed to hear. He followed the path suggested by Quinlan Voss, that only through the darkness he could see the way. So I believe that Qui-Gon was there for all of this, because we know from Attack of the Clones that Liam Neeson cameoed as the voice of Qui-Gon, shouting at Anakin in his mind when he attacked the Tuskens. He said, Anakin, no! He was there with Anakin. I believe he's been there with Obi-Wan as well. Throughout the season, we pointed out how weird it is that Vader and Obi-Wan seem to be able to see each other, sense each other, sharing visions, sharing memories. They shared a bath at one point. It was really hot. Each time, we've assumed it was just the abstract force bringing them back together. But I think there was a third sentient spirit there in the room for each of these connections. I think Qui-Gon was doing some matchmaking. Let's not forget that Qui-Gon told Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace, in that opening scene, some of the first words of that movie, Obi-Wan says, I have a bad feeling about this. Qui-Gon says, don't center on your anxiety, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration on the here and now where it belongs. And Obi-Wan says, Master Yoda says I should be mindful of the future. And Qui-Gon, always that great Jedi, shoots back, but not at the expense of the moment. Be mindful of the living force, my young Padawan. The living force is the element Obi-Wan reconnected with in this series, not the abstract visions of the future or the visions of the past. Remember, the past always came to him as nightmares, horrifying, triggering things and images. But the present moment is what he needed to be grounded in. And that's where he is now. Obi-Wan began the series burying that connection, living in the past. And now he has found that connection to the living force once more. He has found the way. But what do we think lies ahead for crazy old Ben and his ghost best friend? What lies ahead?
Well, they certainly left the door open for a season 2 by having him pack up his things, implying that he was leaving Tatooine. Something that the speculation on, certainly on the break room and on our end over here, was like, oh, well, he has to stay on Tatooine to watch Luke. But then they're like, no, he releases Luke into Owen's care and is like, you just need to watch him now. And I think, Liam kind of gave, Qui-Gon gave him kind of the footprints in the sand talk of like, when you only saw one lightsaber, it was because I was wielding it. I like to think like the first scene where he really uses the Force, where he catches Leia when she's falling off the building, that might have been a Qui-Gon like giving him a little power boost to like do that. I think they're setting us up for another limited series. I think that there's going to be some further adventures of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon coming in a couple of years. That's I imagine perhaps maybe an attempt to reunite with Quinlan and save some other Jedis in peril or something along those lines.
Yeah, they had that line from Roken, right? I'm just getting started, just getting warmed up. I mean, it was interesting to see it end in this place. Like, Obi-Wan is not for the next 9 or 10 years going to have a constant check-in. He's got the the parents for their third kid, the whole baby monitor. We're gonna go down the street and have some drinks with friends. Style of parenting. Totally fine. That kid's gonna be okay with Owen and Beru. I think he looked at Beru and was like, this lady's nuts, and I love it.
This is the safest place I could be.
Yeah, the safest hands are Beru's.
Unless she turns on me.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to piss her off. She's got guns everywhere. I mean, if anything, that's as long as you would hope that. No, I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. You just don't want Luke finding one of those guns. Right. You got to hide him from Luke. Just keep him out of reach. Keep him just a little bit on the high shelf. Lock and key.
You want to see where my aunt keeps her blaster?
Oh God, Tommy. But yeah, I think you're right. I know. The idea of him leaving with Qui-Gon deeper into the plan, like I think you're right. I think it does set up Obi-Wan and kind of detaches him from the planet of Tatooine for season 2 to team up with Roken to help other Jedi escape. To find the path. Tessin, interesting planet came up this episode where they thought they were going to go. But yeah, I think the two of them, like, we have the opportunity here for a wonderful buddy series. Ben and his ghost, right? Like, don't we all want to see that? Just Qui-Gon kind of like continuing to advise him. I wouldn't do that.
Like Kenobi like flirting too hard with a woman on Tessin, and he's and Qui-Gon being like, "Oh, Obi-Wan, you can't. I'm getting cock-blocked by a ghost here."
Or yeah, he's just like the ghost in Big Mouth, up in the attic. That's what he does now.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love that there's like mysteries of the Force that these two can unlock in each other. I think it's beautiful in a way. I want to hear Qui-Gon taking credit for all the cool stuff that Obi-Wan did this episode.
Absolutely.
You didn't move those rocks off yourself. I moved them off one by one. It took forever. I was the one who caught Leia on Daiyu. You didn't see me down there, but I caught her. I went, you didn't do shit. It was me. It was me all this time. Now, use your mind to turn me into a ghost. You turn into a ghost. We're doing ghost classes now. All right, let's talk about Reva this episode. But first, we want to thank some friends who helped us make it. Starting with our friends at Manscaped. There's a certain confidence that comes with being properly groomed. There's an aura, a vibe, as powerful as the Force itself. But you can also call it BGE. Big groomed energy. And there's only one way to get that BGE, and it's Manscaped. They have introduced their best and biggest ultimate hygiene bundle yet, the Platinum Package 4.0. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code Wookiee. Manscaped's brand new Platinum Package 4.0 is the biggest bundle they've offered, giving you a bulk discount on Manscaped's top products. Inside this Platinum Package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Ultra Premium body wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, and a bunch of other great stuff that all comes in the Shed travel bag to hold your goods while traveling. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof so you can shave with less mess. The Platinum Package 4.0 covers all bases from trimming to showering to leaving the gym smelling nice. This is the best bang for your buck. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Wookiee at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Wookiee. Unlock your big groom energy with Manscaped. And remember, when you trim the hedges, the tree stands taller. All right, Tommy, let's talk about Reva this episode.
Yes.
What is next for Reva? Or is she going to get her own spinoff? Or would you want to see her in season 2?
I would like to see her cross paths with Obi-Wan again in season 2. I don't know if a whole spinoff. I mean, I think that could be interesting. I feel like that could add I think that could make a nice B storyline for a season 2. Is like Reva crossing paths with Obi-Wan again, and like, what does that mean now? Like, let's let 6 months pass between the seasons. You know what I mean? Like, or like a year pass, because we can't let too much time pass, or then he's gonna have to go back to Tatooine. So it's like, let's rejoin the burgeoning rebellion with Roken and see if Reva has maybe begrudgingly joined up with them, or if she's found another. Is there another organization that is like sympathetic to former Jedis or former Padawans? Is there like a ragtag group of surviving Padawans that she can go and join? I don't know.
Yeah. See, I don't know what is left for Reva because, like, I don't know. She's done a lot of horrible things in her path. And I get it. So if Vader can be redemptive, anybody can. Then again, like, it was easier to watch Vader's redemption in Return of the Jedi before we saw all the things he did in this series and in Rogue One and in Rebels and read the comics and all the horrible things he did. And so obviously Revenge of the Sith, where he killed children. Like, we didn't know how awful he got. We just saw him choke a bunch of like Nazi Imperial officers in the original trilogy. It was easier to stomach that. Anyway. But so Reva, I think, like, if her plan was to just get revenge on Vader, like, there was a lot of opportunities she had to take a swing at the old man. He's not that old, but she could have gotten close. She didn't have to, like, take him on this wild goose chase of, you know, kidnapping Leia and following them to Mapuzo and all this stuff. Like, think of all the people who were killed as throughout this series. Like, the people in Mapuzo, we saw a little kid's neck get snapped. That was horrible. That whole death parade that Vader went on. Did Reva need to really go through all that?
Perhaps there could be like a Star Wars version of Thunderbolts or Suicide Squad with like Black Chrysanthemum, Reva, and someone else like teaming up to like take a large sum of money to like save a village or save a planet or something like that. I don't know.
You know what I want to see for Reva is like, I want to see her go back to the Fortress Inquisitorius and like burn that place to the ground. Like see what happens. Like if she will be the ultimate, like if she changes from a Jedi hunter to an Inquisitor hunter, you know?
Yes.
Like, because obviously we see what happens to a lot of these Inquisitors throughout the course of Star Wars comics and throughout Rebels. And, you know, there's all these stories, but there's so many unanswered questions about the Inquisitors. So if she goes Inquisitor by Inquisitor and tries to either redeem them, and if they don't, if they fight her, she just kills them. Like, I think she now her list is like the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, the seventh sister, the ninth sister, the eighth brother.
The Hound, the Mountain, Jaime Lannister, Cersei Lannister.
Cottonmouth, Bud. So I think that's her list now. I think she's an Inquisitor hunter. I think that's, to me, the most exciting future for her, is that she doesn't really have any hope for herself. Like, I think she has her own tally marks the way Tala had hash marks on her blaster holster. She needs to now one by one redeem each of the prey that she has hunted over the years.
I like it.
I like the idea. I like that pitch for her. I also don't need a second season of this, to be honest with you. Like, I think, like, there's plenty of stories that are going to get told. Like, Roken, right, could come back in Andor. Andor is going to just pick up a few years after this, maybe, 4 or 5 years after this. And we're going to have 24 episodes to fill on Andor. So, plenty of prequel era stuff, stories that can be told on Andor. By the way, I believe Andor will be our next live action Star Wars series that we're going to talk about here on Wookieeleaks, coming at the end of August. It's just really a Reva light speed jump away.
It's by the way, kitten's whisper away, guys. You know, we're going to do, I'm sure we're going to have some more Kenobi aftershocks to break down. Some news will come out. And then just when you're like, God, when is Wookieeleaks going to cover these TV shows again? Andor will drop. And all will be right with the galaxy. I want to leave us with the chance. Final thoughts on this series. We'll be talking about it more, but just like after watching the finale, how are you feeling about these 6 episodes? I very much enjoyed the story, the path that it took us along on. I was surprised by some of the ways that it went. Certainly from what my thoughts and expectations from watching the trailers and whatever we're going to be. But overall, I thought the landing was very satisfying and stuck. I think the second Vader-Kenobi fight paid off the first fight more when you realize that Obi-Wan had to get better and get stronger. And he really, it made me appreciate how weak he was in that first fight that allowed him to be so dominated by Vader and then just kind of saved at the last moment, which I really appreciated. I loved the portrayal of young Leia. I thought even the characters that didn't, like, my whole thought, I was, after the first couple episodes, I was like, why did they bring Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Priest, or however you say last name, back to do these things? And it was because they had such a huge role in the final episode. I thought they were amazing. This ranks probably somewhere in the middle for these Disney Star Wars series for me. It doesn't go above Mandalorian for me, but I overall, give me that last episode up against anything they've done for TV.
100%. 100%. It leaves such a nice taste in our mouth as we end this series, and I think they absolutely did stick the landing. It reminds me of what they describe improv as to us when we're taking level 1 improv classes. It's 9 people falling down a flight of stairs together and trying to all land on their feet at the other end. And that's what it felt like here. It felt like there was a couple moments, a couple steps where we bumped our head on the step. It felt a little concussed, but then we stuck the landing, which is fine because ultimately all the pieces were in place for this finale. Everything that they made so many great choices for what to include and what not to include in the series. But I will say, episode to episode, I think they should have just introduced some stuff earlier and revealed some stuff earlier and not tried to play this game of we're going to keep this a secret. Like, why didn't we just know the whole time that Reva was that Padawan? That didn't need to be a reveal. I think that reveal kind of landed as a, well, duh, thud. Like, I don't think anyone was surprised by that. It would have informed her character more clearly. I think the writing on Reva, I think the acting on Reva was incredible. Moses Ingram is my new favorite actress. She's incredible. She's so good. But I think the writing for her character was just kind of all over the place. Like, I didn't know why they even in this episode, I don't know what her plans are for Luke when she gets him and why she wants to kill Luke. I'm like, yes, there probably is a reason that I'm missing right now, but I'm telling you, the morning after I watched the show, I don't know why she wanted to kill Luke Skywalker, and that's a problem, right? In fact, I think in general, the Inquisitors really well acted on this series. Man, Rupert Friend is swinging for the fences. Incredible acting choices, but just I was really hoping for the Inquisitors, for like people who didn't watch Rebels or play Fallen Order, to know how terrifying the Inquisitors are. I think the Inquisitors were just a little poopy on this show. Like, I just think they were a little thinly written and unmotivated. And I think just kind of introduced because they didn't want to have them fighting Vader every episode. But I left this series being a little less afraid of the Inquisitors when you should be terrified of them. They are hunters. And I think they started strong with the Grand Inquisitor's speech in that cantina. And then after that, they never really recaptured that high of intimidation. But overall, like, I think the idea of Obi-Wan having to rescue Leia, I think, is just great. I like introducing the path. I think was really fun. I think these beats that we get between Vader and Obi-Wan make it all worth it. Like, the journey was just incredible. So I don't really have too many complaints by the end of the show. I just think we don't need to make everything a mystery as we go along. Just like, I think audiences prefer to have information and know where characters are coming from. Well, I think, they kind of ripped the Band-Aid in the sequels, the most recent trilogy with Kylo Ren. Like, they immediately identified him as Han Solo and Leia's son, right? Like, it was like 20 minutes into the movie when you found out. Like, it wasn't like there was no "I am your father" at the end. Also, interesting parallel. This is the second time we get when Owen yelled out "Ben." I was like, oh, it's kind of like the Han Solo Ben. I very much enjoyed this week to week. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm too down on it. Overall, I really enjoyed this, and I don't
think you did, Eric. I thought what you just said was really thoughtful. I mean, these shows aren't above
calling an Inquisitor poopy is super thoughtful. But
I think the essence of what you said is like very true. I could have, for my money, I know we're wrapping up, and then I just said, let me introduce something new. For my money, they could have never had the Grand Inquisitor die. It could have just been Reva's constant disobedience pushed her onto the outside, and then she, like, in a desperation move, lashes out at Vader, and then it's like she's in a disciplinary hearing, and then that's the, like, all right, now we're off in this this three-way tango of Obi-Wan, Reva, and Vader. I don't know that the Grand Inquisitor ever had to go away. I think kind of taking him off the board made them, by nature, less scary. And then they just didn't, the fifth brother, he was just he disappeared after episode 4. We never saw him again. Yeah,
I don't think you need the Inquisitors at all in this story. Yeah. It's a hot take right here. I don't think the Inquisitors do anything and contribute really anything to the story. I think Reva's storyline was just so written to be so muddy by the end. I think, Tala, Indira Varma, an incredible character on this show.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did such a good job introducing new characters with that we didn't know existed in Star Wars history, or at least even the category of this character we didn't know existed. I think they really did Moses Ingram dirty by the writing of this character. I think they could have written a completely different character for her, and she would have crushed it. And she did. She crushed it. She did the best she possibly could. I think these actors are so good. The fact that they can make us feel things, they can stir our emotions and make it honest and true and painful. This journey for them. I think we have to applaud Moses Ingram on this show.
Absolutely
incredible. I just think, like, in general, when you're writing these characters, like, feel free to just completely bring someone out of left field and tell a new story with a character. Because, you know, I think...
Well, hopefully that's what Taika's going to do with his standalone movie. Come on, Taika. Help us, Taika. You're our only hope.
Yeah. We'll leave it there for this episode of Wookieeleaks. But again, we're going to be talking about what we just went through on this series over the weeks ahead. And look ahead to Andor. A lot of fun stuff coming up in Star Wars. My Easter egg breakdown of this episode is going to come tomorrow. Tommy and I are going to be back every week. We haven't picked a day yet, but I think we're going to be on Mondays for Wookieeleaks. Okay. We'll find out. And don't forget to check out our great merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me at EA Voss. Follow Tommy at Tommy Bechtold. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to Wookieeleaks wherever you hear podcasts. Thank you for watching, and we have spoken. And goodbye then. All right.